Frances, the Knitting and Crochet Guild's collection in 100 Objects project aimed to make the collection more accessible by putting objects on the internet. We have shown you 100 objects, now we want to highlight a few special ones. In this video I will tell you about some of the preservation work we do behind the scenes here at the collection. These items from the 100 Objects project show different ways we do it. The collections team, who are all volunteers, are always striving to look after the items to museum standards, from the archiving system to the handling with gloves. If an item needs mending, they use something called a conservation mend, where you can see what was done to the object for the benefit of future menders. I'm going to pass you on to Anne Harrod, the textile archivist here at the collection, who will tell you a bit about the specific preservation techniques, and then I will be back to show you some of the items from the 100 Objects project.
Hi, I'm Anne Harrod Thomas. I'm one of the textile volunteers at the collection of Knitting and Crochet Guild. And I just want to tell you a little bit about how we look after the items in our care. The store itself in Slathwaite is the room, the deep store where our textiles are kept, is cold. It has no windows at all and it's dry, so those are all ideal conditions. All the textiles are kept in boxes. Everything is wrapped in acid-free tissue paper to keep it clean and to protect it from the other items and from the boxes. Some of our very precious items are even wrapped in their own cloth, and ideally we do that with everything. When we handle the items, which we do when we have to get them out to show people or for photography, or to take them on visits to branches or anything like that, we wear white gloves, which we believe is the best way to protect them from damage from dirt on our hands, and damage from fingernails or rings, that sort of thing. And obviously those white gloves are washed very frequently themselves. When we handle the pieces, we support them as much as we can, so that they don't get damaged or stretched. And when we have to fold them again to go back in the boxes, we fold them in different places each time so that the fold marks don't build up and cause damage. If they need washing, it's by hand. It's a laborious process because it has to be done extremely gently and carefully, using very neutral washing liquid and the minimum of action, and blotting them dry with towels and then drying flat. So exactly how you'd do something very precious of your own. And as Frances has told you, if we do find any bits of damage on them, we do an obvious mend so that it can be seen. And those are some of the ways in which we look after what we have.
First up, this is Captain Tweedy's nightcap. We haven't been able to narrow down which Captain Tweedy this hat belonged to. There is too many possibilities and there's not enough information, but we have tried. Part of the preservation is getting supporting information about the items for social history interest. We think this is the oldest object in the collection, dating from the 19th century, but it's the only one we can precisely date because it's got 1826 written on it. You should always name and date your items, for the benefit of us, of course. It is a really delicate item with a broken hem, made from cotton, which shows both the care the collection teams take to look after the items and the textile heritage preserved. It was donated by a former chair of the board. Other items with social history uncertainty are these rayon yarn holders. They used to be quite common. It appears that many companies may have given these out as freebies or with rayon yarn sales, but we haven't been able to find out for certain, because even though these are still within living memory, early 1900s, commonplace knowledge such as this isn't written down and is often lost. The collection team tries to preserve this knowledge. These holders are about the size of a hand. Rayon is very slippery yarn and doesn't shape into a ball. So these holders are really useful to prevent tangling. We wanted to showcase a bit of this early 20th century history in the project. This next item is of interest to fashion historians. The yarn samples may not look like much, but it's useful for researchers to be able to see what type of yarns were used in the past. This is for many reasons, but one relevant to the collection is knowing what a garment is made from can help to look after it. It also provides a really useful record and snapshots of what materials and products were used in the past. It's also great to see the development of graphic design by looking at these ball bands. We at the collection particularly love this band with the Colosseum from Rayon. The Guild is a nationwide charity, so it's important for us to preserve items from all over the country. In the project, we have shown you Irish crochet and Shetland lace items. These socks are called kilt hose and are from Scotland. These kilt hose have beautifully decorated tops, knitted in the famous Sanka Duke pattern, and the knitter who made these won a highly commended at the Royal Highland Show in 1998. Sanka patterns are usually found on gloves, but they look great on these socks too, which all of your comments agreed on. If you'd like to try a Sanka pattern, we do have a glove pattern available for free if you email collections@kcguild.org.uk. Next up, another type of craft tool. These you may recognise. This small selection of crochet hooks show how the design has changed through time from very fine metal hooks where you can hardly feel the hook in the 19th century to modern and thicker plastic hooks used with chunky yarn. The Guild has many crafting tools and we are proud of the history preserved in them, and we love to see the development and progression of them. One of our aims is to preserve crafting techniques, and you can't learn a technique if you don't have the tool. I am finishing on another knitted item. These are a pair of beaded cuffs. They were used to cover the wrist, worn from the base of the thumb to above the wrist. This pair probably dates from the 19th century, but patterns for wrist warmers were popular in Victorian times and range from plain grey ones for cab drivers to beaded and lace fancy ones. We love the length of textile heritage stored in the collection, and there's loads of inspiration to gain for future projects. The collection team works hard to look after all these wonderful items. If you'd like to see all 100, check out the collections page on our website, kcguild.org.uk. You can also find all the posts on our Instagram and Facebook pages, where everyone has been commenting with their own stories about the items. We hope you get involved.